All right. Let me sit down here so you guys can see me. All right. You can see me. Hi, I am Sharon. I am the Accidental ArtMaker, and I am in my summer studio, also known as my garage, which I haven't been able to get cars into for almost 3 years. That's because I got like a bunch of furniture in here. I know that's probably shocking, and a few other things too. So I have enough space to paint pieces of furniture here in the summertime. The goal is by the end of the summer to have them all out and down to an art street fair. And theoretically, the side of the garage should be open up for a car to fit in it. We'll see. Anyways, welcome. Thanks for joining me tonight. Because I am in my summer studio, I'm not sitting at my desk. I can't see or share your comments, but I will go back and read them all later. If I need to take a little bit of a breather break, I might come up and chat up there and say hi to you all. Let's get down to it. Today I am painting. Turn the camera around. All right, let's get it pointed down. All right, so this bureau started out, I got it from Buy Nothing. It was white and really dirty. It had been sitting in a garage for a couple of years, and a child had drawn stick figures on the side of it, like literal stick figures, and the drawers were all broken. So it needed a little bit of love. In fact, this drawer, I think, is, it needs a little bit of love. It got love, and this is as good as it's going to get. So here I am. I'm here to paint it and share with you guys the upcycle of it. So at some point I will post the before pictures. I just didn't have time to get them online tonight. So what are we going to do? We are going to, I've already started with, like I said, I painted it gray on the bottom. I painted this gray. I've done the sides yellow, and I want to paint with, I haven't used this color before. It's called French millinery. Can't really say that too well. I did a little test board. Let me see if I can get some light on this for you guys. Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what does it look like when I blend the yellow with the French millinery, and I kind of get a gray, which is kind of what's already there. So I don't want the middle to be an explosion of colors anyways, because I plan on coming in here with a transfer and laying a transfer in the middle here. I do want the outsides to be colorful. I have an idea also with stamps on the outside, but what I really want to focus on today is on the front and the top here. I want to take the French millinery and I kind of want to blend it in and let it dry. Paint's drying really fast here. It's pretty warm. Maybe we'll get to stamping. And really, I'm just here for therapy. I mentioned this in my post. There's just some tough news earlier this week, or in my mind, it was tough news. I actually honestly don't know if it's tough news or not, but it definitely triggered some it triggered some feelings and emotions from a bad divorce I went through about 8 years ago. And I should have picked up the paintbrush and started painting, but I picked up a glass of wine instead. And yesterday I kind of got over myself in talking myself through and saying, I really don't know what's going to happen, and I really can't control it. It's out of my control. And what I really need to do is go do some paint therapy. So here we are. Can you guys see that? I'm going to bring the camera in closer so you guys can see a little bit better there. If you're just joining, hello, welcome. My name is Sharon. I usually respond to comments during these lives, but in my summer studio, it's really hard for me to, I can't look at the camera across the room and I can't be an octopus like I can at my desk. Okay, so I think this is like a very pretty color. It's like a very subtle color. I'm going to get up pretty close to the yellow, but I'm not going to go in and connect just yet because I want to lay down my first coat of this color. I've got the front to do here and the sides and the top, and I'll move the camera around so you guys can see me do that. I'm using DIY paint. I don't sell it anymore, but there's lots of wonderful stockists around the country who will ship it to you from their site. If you go to the DIY page, Debbie DIY, there's a stockist locator there, and you can find one close to you. All right. This is really pretty. This is a really subtle, pretty color, I think. Let's see here. So I don't know about you guys, but over the course of my life, I've had real therapy, like in a group setting and with a specialist, with somebody a bit more generic. And it's always been, almost always has been a big help to me to take my troubles and go talk to a professional about it. And I haven't always, I only started really creating about, at this degree that I'm doing now, about 10 years ago when I was going through that divorce. And one of my friends brought a reminder of the piece that kind of started it all. And I'm going to share that story with you. I think I've shared it in another live, but I will share it here tonight with you guys. Let me move the camera down a little bit. Isn't that pretty? You can kind of see where the purple's covering the gray. I like it. All right, so here's my story. I've been married probably for about 4 or 5 years. A little bit longer, 8 years, to a fellow. And long story short, he was a serial cheater. He cheated, and he cheated, and he cheated. I'm laughing now, but at the time it was quite painful, as you can imagine. And when you're living with somebody that cheats that much, you can have the saying, and if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's called D-Day, also known as Discovery Day. And over the course of being with a cheater, you can have several discovery days, and they kind of all feel like the first time that you have them, where you've made a discovery that you absolutely cannot say. Like finding underwear in your bed, for example, that's not yours. Like there's no getting around that. Like somebody's been in your bed, right? But it's a discovery, it's shocking, and what do you do next? And as a woman in this country, it's hard to figure out what to do next, because you get lots of different messages around what you're supposed to do, one of which is stay together for the kids, which is what I did for many years. Probably over the course of 3 years of hardcore evidence that my now ex-husband was cheating on me. All right, I'm going to turn this way. We're going to paint the side here. Oh, are you going to turn? Please turn. Let's see here. Oh, I see what's happening. Here we go. All right. It's also on there. So back to my story. I had my final D-Day. I was done. And I decided it was time for him to leave. So he left. And when he moved out, he didn't move out. He got on a plane back to his mom in San Francisco. And when he left, he instructed me not to go through his things, or his personal things, and I better not touch them. So, of course, what did I do? I went through his things, because I had always respected his privacy in the past, but he had lost that privilege of privacy because of his behavior. And I went through this bureau of his where I found yet more evidence of cheating. And long story short, I dragged that bureau out here into the garage and I painted it. It was probably like one of the big first pieces I ever painted. I painted it. It was like I think it's called like a high boy. It was kind of like it was all one piece, but like it was a bureau and the top portion was like kind of smaller and sitting on top of the lower half, which is a little bit bigger. Let's see, can you guys see that all right? With my camera. There we go. So I painted it these bright blue colors with white. And then at the time I didn't know about Iron Orchid Designs. I had never used decoupage before. I'd only used stencils. And so I had a stencil of a peacock. And I put a huge peacock on the front of this bureau. And it was amazing. And I colored it in and I put gold on it. And that peacock was like really strutting its stuff. It was quite amazing. And it was therapy. I felt so good. I mean, admittedly, taking something that, he told me not to do, not to look in this bureau. I felt really good looking in his bureau, finding that stuff, and then painting his bureau. And that was great therapy. And I have no regrets. All right, let's see here. If you're watching, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Other times in my life, I've needed therapy. I've done eating therapy. I've done wine therapy. I've done ignore it and pretend it will go away therapy. But honestly, when I have my paintbrush and I got a big piece of furniture, especially something that I can transform, I kind of feel like I'm in my special place where things just kind of process in my head and I let go of the racing thoughts, the grief, the loss, whatever it is that's going on. And in the back of my head, things just kind of tend to work itself through. All right. Oh, look, I forgot to paint. I painted yellow on the bottom on the other side. We'll find out. Let me see here. I did not paint the bottom yellow here. All right, well, that's all right. We'll do that right now. Let me push this so you guys can see it. Yeah, so I'm not, at this point in my life, I'm not, for the most part, I don't mind sharing stories like that because I feel it helps other people know that they're not alone and that there's different ways to cope with times in your life that are really, really challenging. The shame that kind of comes with cheating too. It's a special kind of shame. Who are you supposed to tell? Why did this happen? Is it your fault? All kinds of stuff like that. But anyways, that bureau, I sold it for $500, and that was part 2 of being hooked on creating. Okay, now we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna move this back up like this. Okay. So now I got this purple here. It's drying. I have got the gray ring right here. And I want to blend in between here. So what I'm going to do is I have a blending brush. And I've got, I think actually what we'll do is we'll start in the front. Let's do that. I'm going to let that bottom dry a little bit. Let me move this back. So my summer studio is not glamorous at all, but it works. I can do big pieces like this, which keeps me happy. All right, let's see here. All right. So now I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna bring more yellow and the French millinery, and I'm gonna bring them in here and I'm gonna blend them and see what happens. So here it is. We're gonna do some yellow. We're just gonna go in here like this. And then I'm gonna come in here with the millinery. You know what I need to do? I'm afraid I might get some, I don't want to get yellow in here, so I'm going to pour a little bit here on a plate. My yellow I'm not too concerned about because it's almost gone. All right. So let's come in here. And now I'm just bringing the millinery right up to that purple. And I'm not sure what kind of effect I want to go for. I might like this really jagged kind of interaction here. Let's come in here. I'm going to a little bit of water here. I'm going to give it a little bit of a mist. And I'm just going to do a little bit of, pull that across a little bit. I'm going to pull that up. I like that. I like it. All right, let's keep going then. Okay, so we just did this area. That's not too blended. Let's see. Let's just give that a little bit. All right. And like I said, there's going to be a transfer going in the middle here. So I'm not really too worried about how, I really wanted to give the transfer I'm going to use a space to pop up. I might bring some of the yellow back in here, but right now I'm just concentrating on the edges and the sides here. Okay. Some more yellow. My brush has been sitting in water here, so if you see drips, that's why. Yeah, it's dripping. That's okay. All right. Getting close here. Yeah, there's just so much going on in the world today. I mean, I don't have to tell you what's going on. It's challenging. And it is helpful to do this, I think. Okay. Now I'm going to come back in here with my, I'm going to pull it in a little bit too. I like the purple coming out. Let's get a little bit more purple here. Okay. I'm just thinking, that's why I'm being quiet. All right, I'm going to keep going. There's another rule about this is it's only paint. If I don't like it, guess what? I can paint over it. Okay, put some yellow here. I'm going to bring some yellow back up in here. Go to my French millinery. And I'm going to get it close over here. And then, you guys even see that? You can see it. Let me get out of the way. And I'm just going to do a little bit of blending. See, it's like all my problems are going away. All right, let's Oh, I do want to pull a little bit more yellow in through the purple because I kind of like how it's. So I'm gonna like do something like this. I'm gonna take my brush and give it a little bit of a mist. I like that. I wasn't sure. I haven't used this color before, and I'm not usually a subtle person. I feel like the French millinery is pretty subtle for my aesthetic, but I like it. I like it with the purple and I like how they're kind of figuring things out together. Okay, well, let's go to the other side. I have my little thing on wheels here. Move this hot light out of the way. Okay, oops. All right. Look what I did. I got some paint on my finger. There. You go up there. All right, we're going to come back in here. I'm going to put some yellow up here. Come down here along the sides. And then I'm going to come get my purple, my subtle purple, and get in here with this. All right, now I'm going to get my mister. Just give it a little bit of water. And I'm pulling up here. I'm pulling the purple in, getting a little bit of yellow in there, and that's okay. Do not need to do that. Let's get a little bit more yellow up here. Back up in here. In there. And I think what we're going to do is going to give it a soft little cleanse there. Okay. And just sit back and look at it for a second and see what's going on. Okay. I think it's going fine. I just have to keep in mind that in the middle, I'm putting a bunch of stuff in the middle, so I don't have to get too worried about. I'm going to be covering up a lot of this. Not a lot of this. I'm going to probably be covering up about, 50% with a transfer. So I'm kind of feeling like, and I want it to be focused in the middle. It's going to be kind of like an exploding bouquet is my thinking. Okay, let's get you in here. A little squirt. I'm going to squirt my brush a little bit. All right. And then I'm going to pull paint in this way. It's going to have a really cool effect overall. You can tell. Okay. Or at least I feel like it. All right. Okay. here. Come in a little bit. Just like really lightly going over it with my yellow brush here. And then I missed it. And I come back in with my blender brush here. And then I just softly pull some into the middle here. The handles, the knobs, you might be looking at that, wondering what my strategy is there. And I'm thinking about putting some molds on top of that. So I don't really care what's happening with that. Okay. Let's do this. Pull that in, pull that out. Hey guys, this is my first time I've done a live from my summer studio this summer. So if you have any feedback, like I was just wondering if I've been in front of the camera and blocking your view at all. Just let me know. All right, I'm really enjoying this. Okay, let's come down here. That. Some purple right here. And I'm actually gonna a little bit, and then I missed it. And then okay. I feel like it needs a little bit more yellow in the middle, like it's too solid. So I come back and I'm going to give it some random splotches like this. And I'm gonna, when I spray it like this, well, you can see the water running. I'm putting too much water on it. I'm reactivating the French millinery paint underneath it so that I can blend a little bit here. Like that. It can even go up and down and it kind of disappears even more. But I just wanted to break up this purple a little bit more. Too much water there. It's just too solid. Well, there's probably a better artistic term for it, but that's what I got for you. All right. I think that's pretty good. All right. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and just see if we have any comments and any questions. And that looks like I have one person watching. Hello, one person. How are you? Let's see here. I'm going to switch my camera. Nope, not turn it off. Yeah, that looks pretty. You can see some drips down the bottom. I'm not worried about that. I'll probably go back in with some paint in there, some yellow paint, some purple or something. I might even come back in here with a little bit of like flecks of green. I think that could look really cool too, because I'm going to be using, a transfer that has flowers on it and like has like the garden theme to it. Okay, I'm gonna move this up here. We're gonna go to the side here. If you have any questions, just drop them in. But otherwise, I'm just gonna keep painting and doing my thing. If you have any questions, just pop them on up, and at some point I will get to them. Okay, now this will be interesting because I don't have like the drawers and I have a flat surface here. So what is this gonna look like? It's probably gonna look a lot like the front. All right, I got my yellow. I'm gonna kind of come in here with my yellow. And I'm kind of doing it like this top half right here. And then I'm gonna come in with the purple, the French millinery, and kind of getting right in there. Now I'm gonna take my mister. Missed it. I'm gonna miss my brush a little bit too. It's pretty hot, so things are drying pretty fast here. Let's see. Now, what I don't want is it to look like a big circle, which is kind of what was going on there. So let's see how we can break that up a little bit. Let's mess it up a little bit more. It's still looking a bit like, I just work a little bit of purple in here. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow, just right here. Mix that a little bit. Go up and down and blend that in a little bit. I'm pulling the purple out across the yellow. Kind of makes a different effect than on the front, but that's okay. If I need to, I can always come back in here with a little bit more yellow and add some more solid areas right there. So, you can really see the difference, huh? Let's see here. I missed it a little bit more. And I'm just gonna pull. I actually have no idea what I'm going to do on the sides. Like I've been saying I want to do a transfer on the front, but I really have no idea what I'm going to do on the sides. So maybe this will help inform that. All right, let's get some more yellow in here. And we're going to put a little dab in the middle there. And I got some more purple, also known as French millinery. And come in here with this. Get a little bit of a mist. I'm gonna mist my brush. And then I'm just going across and up and down. I need to break up this splotch a little bit more. That's pretty. All right. Let's get in there. All right. It's getting a little bit muddy. That's all right. I probably will end up doing something with stamps or transfers on the side here as well. All right, let's keep going. The purple. mist here. I'll bring that in. I don't like that line right there. You see how like it looks very much like a line? So I'm trying to break that up a little bit and give it a little bit of water. I would kind of in the beginning wanted like a halo effect with the yellow. Then out. Come in here, break that up a little bit like that. Pull that in. I don't like this up here. It like looks too much like a mistake. All right, let's see. But then it all becomes kind of blended and mushy. All right. It's going to be all right. We'll figure it out. Let's keep painting. And I need a little bit more French laundry. Excuse me for 1 second. Whoop. Getting some blobs there. Yellow. Washing up my brush a little bit. Pull this. There. All right. We're getting there, people. Paint's drying super fast, which can be good, but today it's like I have to work fast. Okay. A little bit of a drip there. All right. We're going to call that good, people. Thanks for joining me. If you guys have any, oh, look, someone's here. It is Dee. Dee, if you're just joining, I'm pretty much just wrapping up right now. Let me move this around so you guys can see it. But I started painting this bureau. This is originally a white bureau with stick figures on it from a kid. And I'm going to be putting one of the new transfers here in the middle. So I've been working with some really subtle colors, Dee. If as you know, I'm not much of a subtle person, but I'm trying to do something a little bit more sublime. But that's it. I need to wrap up, and paint's drying really fast, and I'm hot and sweaty. But anyways, thanks for joining, Dee. I appreciate it, and hope you're doing well, and have